bangs are gonna bug me the whole video, but that's okay. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Savannah and this is my channel where I show all of my crafty adventures. This is what I do. I like to share what I've been working on, so that's why I make these videos, and I hope that you enjoy them. It is very bright, overcast day today. So I apologize for the reflection in my glasses, but again, this is the best lighting in my house, so this is what we're going to work with. This is, before I get into this, this is my March recap video. So I just wanted to go ahead and, for, anybody watching really, whether you're new or returning, this year I am trying to do the format of one mid-month update and then one monthly recap at the end of each month. So that's how I'm working my videos this year. Last year, I think I was doing weekly for most of it, and then I just got burnt out by the end and was doing monthly, and then I did a vlog at one point. I'm just trying to do anything to help the algorithm pick up my videos. I've been making videos for several years now, and I just, for some reason, my videos are not being shown to the masses for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what I'm missing, but anyways, that is what is happening here. So we are doing I am doing my March 2024 recap, and I had so much stuff I had to put it in this giant basket. So I'm going to go ahead and organize this out so that I can be more efficient with it. Oops. Okay, so I didn't do a lot of planning for this video, so we're just gonna try to dive right in. I'll try to remember to do timestamps for this video because I do feel like it's going to be quite long and there's going to be some things that you're not interested in hearing. But I figured to start this, and probably going forward, if I can remember, when I do monthly recaps, I'm going to try to start with the little housekeeping stats, numbers, all that jazz. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I got this little notebook here, stickers from a friend, so that didn't come on the notebook. The notebook's just, from a big box craft store. Little bullet journal type thing. I need to mark that off. I have in here my 2024 plans. I know you can't see that. And then I have my monthly goals. I have a month and then I break it down into weeks and then I write down the goals. And then I also put in yarn used, or yarn in, yarn out. And I've started adding starts and finishes to this as well. More detailed information on my projects, starts, finishes, whips, everything is going to be on my Ravelry, which is linked down below in the description box, along with other social media things for you if you are interested. But this is just like a quick overview. So for March, this is my March page. So my goals this month were pretty low, which is crazy considering I have so much going on. March was just a lot, even though there's a little bit here. And it looks like yes and no for goals. I hit most of them. I did up a goal, bring a goal up a week, which I probably should not have done, but that's okay. I have plenty of time and I'll talk about that a little bit later when I talk about the project. So for March, it looks like I had 5 new starts, only 2 finishes. No, 3 finishes. I need to update that. I have 3 finishes for March, 5 new starts. Yarn in, I had 21 skeins of yarn come in, and I only used 8 so far. Well, for March, unfortunately. So I am in the negatives, I guess you would say. Started the year with 240 skeins of yarn in stash, like units, I should say, units of yarn. I'm not, if you are new, I'm not counting mini skeins. I'm not counting undyed yarn from when I used to have a yarn dyeing business, and I'm not counting scraps, and I'm not counting my hand spun yarn, which I forgot to bring that up. Oh well, that's okay. We'll talk about that some other time. Anyway, so yes, I have got like a 260 some skeins now in stash, so I'm working on it. So yeah, I have April set up and ready to go. Now let's go ahead. I also have in the back of this notebook my budget, because I'm trying to see how much I spend on this craft of knitting and crochet. I kind of want to see how much I spend, and March was not a good month, let me tell you that. So patterns that I purchased. So I'm doing patterns and yarn. So for March, I bought 6 patterns. Bought 6 patterns. I bought the Brownstone Beanie by Tori Yu. I would like to insert photos, but that's a lot of editing, so I'll maybe link them down below. I purchased the April cardigan by Petite Knit, the Scrapsody socks by Winter's Weather Knits, also the teddy bear vest by Winter's Weather Knits, the Nordic Star Sunburst blanket by Mallory Kral, and the Brady Loop cardigan by Other Loops. So all of those totaled out to be $40.30 US. So that was the most I spent so far this year on patterns. I do have a total, but that's down on my computer. I'm not adding those in until the middle of the year. All right, for yarn, this was a big spending month. I bought about 4 different yarns. Did I bring up? Yes. Okay. Which I'll show you here shortly. I bought from Hillesvåg. I spent $81.69. Well, you know what? I'll just do a total at the end. I bought some Hillesvåg, some Holsgarn, some Lion Brand, and some yarn from Knit Picks, and the total was $311.87. It was tax season, guys. Taxes came back, so I did a little bit of extra spending. I think after seeing that total, we are going on a trip next week, and potentially I will be buying yarn then, but I think that'll be it. Other than yarn, I will need to complete a project, which I'll talk about here in a second, because I have said project. But I think that's the goal going forward, is that I'm going to try to take a break from spending money on yarn. I have plenty of yarn in stash. My daughter made like a really interesting point the other day. So I have a cubby system for my yarn downstairs, if you've seen any of my videos where I'm standing in front of it. Just one of those IKEA Collect systems, the 5x5. That one's full of yarn. She pointed to a cube. She's like, you should do everything from this cube first, and then when that one's done, move to the next cube. And I kind of like that idea. Obviously not everything in every cube would get finished, because some of that stuff is like random skeins, either leftover scrap bits, or they don't have enough to complete a project, or they weren't assigned a project. and definitely my sock bin, because I have one cubby that is nothing but sock yarn. I don't want to do like 30 pairs of socks back to back to back. That's not my thing. So I have been ruminating on her suggestion, and it does sound interesting. So we'll see. We will see if that comes to fruition, and then if, you know, maybe throwing in one sock skein a month. You know, I have a sock knitting machine. I could easily crank out a pair of socks in a day. But I know sometimes I do like pattern, you know, like textured socks as well. So it's just something I've been thinking about. Anyways, let's go ahead and move along. I'm going to go ahead and jump into acquisitions real quick. Again, timestamps if I remember, that way you can skip it if you're not interested, but I figured it'll be easier for me to get them out of here and put away, plus some are already in new starts, so I'd rather just show them all now and then put them away. All right, let's go ahead. So the first purchase I made this month was for some Hillesvåg yarn. I have wanted to get this yarn for a while. It was kind of like a dream yarn, I guess. I mean, I still have other ones that I want to try that I cannot remember what they're called at the moment, but I knew this one was something I really want to try, and it was from Hillesvåg, and it was the Tinde base. So this is all in Norwegian, so I can't tell you everything here. And I got the red color. I don't know how to pronounce that in Norwegian. There's a little hair on there, but I chose red because I really, really want a red cardigan. So I plan to use this to make the April cardigan by Petite Knit. I'm really hoping that this works out. I believe it will. I don't think she's holding that double anything with anything. I could have sworn this was a DK weight, but it's looking very thin, so I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it was planned for the April cardigan. If I have to pivot, that's fine, but it's going to be a cardigan, a V-neck cardigan of some sort. I don't think I'm going to do a crew neck. But yeah, I got 5 skeins of this. I'm excited to use this hopefully soon. This isn't the first cubby my daughter pointed out, so it could be potentially soon. All right, next one I bought from Housekeeping. It's kind of like a little impulse buy, but not. So I bought 3 cones. 3 cones, 1, 2, and 3. Whoa, there's fluff. My kitty. That's kitty hair. I don't know where that came from or why he lost that much. So I bought 3 500-gram cones. So it's funny though, because so these 2 are super soft. Look at the difference. This one is like 600 some. This one's 500 and some. I think it's just this one's more tightly wound than this one is. There's not that much of a difference. I think this one's just over 600 grams and this one's about 550. Anyway, so it's Housekeeping Super Soft, which is 100% wool. It is a fingering weight. It is a thinner fingering weight, but it does bloom very nicely once washed and blocked. So this color was just really singing to me on the website. I do have a color card as well, so I can double check when I am looking online. I wanted to get a color card for Coast, but their base Coast, but it wasn't available. Either way, this is Mariner. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I don't think you can see that in there. This is beautiful blue color. I'm not sure what I'll make with this yet. I've had a few things cross my mind for this, but at this moment in time, I cannot remember what those are. And then I also got almond. Yes, right? Yep, almond in the super soft base. I just wanted a nice neutral. This one's really, really soft for being super soft. If you've never touched this yarn before, It usually does not feel very nice when you first receive it. It does have the spinning oil still on it. And so it's a rougher, more rustic type of yarn. And then once you wash it, it blooms. It's still a little bit on the rustic side, but not terrible. This one's actually really, really soft already. Like, to me, in relative terms, I think rustic yarn is soft. So yeah, this one's really nice. And I don't know what I'll make with it yet either, but it was nice to have it in stash for whenever I am ready to make something. And the last one, this one is Housekeeping Coast Base, which is 55% wool, 45% cotton. I got it in black because I thought I would make, oh, I don't know what it's called. Maybe I'll throw it on the screen real quick. It's by Vert Designs. It's a dress. It's a pretty expensive pattern as well, but I believe it's because it's a tailor to fit you. Like, you input your numbers, I believe, and then it tells you what to do to make it fit you perfectly. So I thought about doing that. I also have that cardigan by her as well, saved in my Ravelry cart. These bangs, man. And so I was thinking I could maybe do that too, but I could also do that one and this. So depending on the yarn, like, is it a DK, is it a fingering weight? I have no problem holding this double, any of these double to make a DK weight. But yeah, since it's like half wool, half cotton, I figured this would make a really, really lovely dress. Plus it's 500 grams, which is, I think it's like somewhere around 1,000 yards. I could be wrong, but so yeah, that's what I got. Ooh, too much talking. What else did I get? I ordered from Lion Brand. I wanted to start this one project. It's one of the patterns I purchased this month, so I wanted to get that started, so I ordered yarn for it. And this is the Lion Brand's Go for Faux in the colorway Blonde Elk. This is 100% polyester faux fur yarn. I already started this project, so I will show it to you when I get to whips, but I bought 8 skeins of this to make a project. Yeah, it's not the funnest to knit with because you can't see your stitches, but it's lovely. Okay, last purchase that I made for the month. That was yarn. I have one more purchase that's not yarn. I bought this yarn off of Knit Picks. I can't remember if they were having a sale. I can't remember. But I have a pattern in my, I have a pattern I'd like to do. It's the Rivendell Pullover by Sari Nordland. And I was looking around, and I believe this was on sale, and that's why I bought it. But I was on Knit Picks, and they had this new yarn, and I was very confused because I really thought it was just a Knit Picks yarn. And so I was looking at it, and then I saw what it was, you know, the composition of the yarn. I was like, yep, I'm gonna try that because that's new to me. Plus it'll be really lovely. Oops. I got this lovely green color. So the yarn is Bahram Wood Note DK. It is a Blueface Leicester Masham blend. So it's 34% BFL, 33% Masham, and 33% Merino. I've never had worked with Masham before. I've heard lots of things from, you know, people who use it from Sonder Wool Company, Yarn Company. But I was like, wow. So when it came like this, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not Knit Picks yarn. And then so I looked up Bahram, and I was like, oh, that's a England-based, a United Kingdom-based yarn. I was like, oh, that's neat. So I got 5 skeins of this. The colorway is called Toad. I wasn't sure what color to get. God, it's so pretty on the camera screen though. I wasn't really sure what color to get for the Rivendell, so I just decided to go with green because I love green, but I don't have a lot of green sweaters. So, yeah, I got this. Again, 5 skeins. I'm pretty stoked to try this out. All right, so that was it for the yarn purchases. I have one more purchase that came in just the other day, and it's pretty stinking nifty if you ask me. I got this. This is from Gemma B Makes. She has a YouTube channel and an Etsy store. She created these wool combs. They're wool combs in this cool little case. So it's 3D printed. I should have brought the old ones up. I've had 3D printed wool combs before, but they were really cheap and not very good. They came with like a bag of nails that you had to just put in yourself. I could not get them in, all of them. And the ones I could get in kept falling out. Did not work very well. And so if you want to learn more about these, you can go watch Gemma B's video on them. But she went through a couple prototypes and found these nice tines. They're in already. I didn't have to put them in. They're nice and sharp. This beautiful little handles, lightweight, beautiful color. She has several colors you can choose from. I chose pine green. So there's that. But not only is this like a little storage case, you can also, it's a little dangerous, so I'm gonna do it down here. You can also set up your comb in this contraption, probably clamp it to a table, and then you can comb off of that and then pull your fiber when it's ready. You can diz it off of the comb, which is really, really amazing if you ask me. So I'm excited to use this. I have some fiber that I need to process, but I'm waiting till it's warmer. So yeah, I ordered that, and this is really inexpensive. Obviously the shipping from England was a little pricey, but that's to be expected. I wasn't too worried. So I think I spent $100 on this. She's also in the works of an electric spinning wheel, so I'm kind of excited for that when she's done with, you know, doing all her prototype stuff for that. So I think maybe that might be something I'm interested in, because I would love to have a second spinning wheel. Right now I have a Shack Ladybug. I think I'd like an e-spinner to move around the house with, or even travel with. So yeah. All right, that's it for that. I have just 2 finishes to show you. In my last video, I've showed you, I believe, my traveler's cowl was finished. I've had 2 more finishes since then. So since the last video, I have finished Angelica Whale. Angelica Whale is from this book, Peek-a-Pow 3 by Jen Schenkel. I don't know. Peek-a-Pow 3. Absolutely lovely book. I have book 1 and 3. I do not have book 2. I don't think I will get it. Anyway, so this is the project my son requested from that book. Angelica Whale. Look at how twisted this is. This was not an easy project. I've never done, like, it's worked in Tarja. I've never, maybe not really in Tarja. I did it like color work. So I carried the white and then the blue across the white kind of thing. It twists terribly. So I keep like, when you look at it from the side, it looks totally fine. I mean, except, yeah, looks fine from the sides. But yeah, this is, my son likes her. He renamed her Penelope, I believe. So this is now Penelope the whale. I used Drops Cotton Light on a 3mm hook because I don't have the 2.75, I think is what is called for. I don't have that size. The Drops Cotton Light, not a fan. It splits way too easily. I don't know if you can see this right here. That's one of the, well, that's two of the plies. Like I had a lot of splitting where I'd have to rip back just to make sure to connect everything again. Other than that, I don't know what else to say about it. Once I got the body finish, it was very, very quick. This cute little fortune cookie type tail. I didn't have to stuff it, but I decided to because I thought it was cute. And then the little flippers with some bobbles. Yeah, there wasn't any like real explanation on how or when to put the bobbles. It was just at your discretion. So just threw them in wherever. And my son does like her, so she's been hanging out in his bed. All right, last finish. I got these done finally. My husband's socks, I gave them to him yesterday for Easter. These are the, well, they're just vanilla socks. I used the Knox socks by Knox Mountain. I believe that it's listed in my Ravelry, I promise. I went off pattern anyways because I ended up choosing to do 68 stitches because I've never made my husband a pair of socks before, and I wanted these to be a secret, so I wasn't sure what size. So I did 68 stitches, and then it was an afterthought heel, so I just kind of guesstimated, and the length turned out perfectly. They are a little wide on him, so I will throw these in the washer and dryer to shrink them up just a tiny bit, because I do wash and dry my socks in the machines, and I haven't had any real issue other than them just tightening up a little bit, so I will do that. The yarn is the special bit of this. This yarn is from Gauge Dye Works. It is called Our Solar System Round Trip. So it was one skein with a big chunk of gray in the middle for the heels, and you separate them, and then you could start them. Well, the pattern you can either do toe up or cuff down. I chose to do toe up so I could have the sun at the toes, but that is exactly what it is. The sun, and then you have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Pluto's way up there. And each color mimics a diameter of the planet. So obviously you have two colors for these big planets because they're so large. So each different color is a different diameter. And then the gray stripes for in between. The light gray, I believe, is 50,000 kilometers, 50, and then the dark gray is 5 million kilometers. I can't remember for sure, but definitely a work of art for this yarn. The way the dyer did all the math for this, absolutely amazing. So, yep. Now my husband can not say that I never make him anything because I made him a pair of socks. It's fun socks. And now he can keep his feet warm because his feet get cold here at home. So he can wear these here at home after he gets home from work if he likes. Because I know he won't wear these out. He's not that kind of guy. All right. Should we do new starts first and then whips? I think so. We'll go ahead and do new starts. All right, we'll go with this one first. So since I finished my son's whale, I decided to start my daughter's project, and she chose a little dinosaur, also from the same book. I'll get you a full picture. Oops. So that's Eduardo Cutosaurus. So Eduardo, so far, has proven to be a lot easier than the whale. So you just start here and then work, your way around, doing your increases, decreases, wherever you need. I finished up his little neck, and then I started the body, but I'm a little nervous that I did not start it exactly centered, because it says to find the center back. I feel like it's off a little bit, but even if it is, it'll just be like his head is slightly turned, you know, so his body will come out this way and he's like looking that way kind of thing. So I'm not too worried about it, but it is a little odd, but I'm working with it. Super cute. So same yarn, the Drops Cotton Light, because I bought all of it at the same time. I don't think I will be buying this yarn again. I should work on maybe stuffing the head just a little bit more before I carry on, but yeah, just a little bit here and there. Cute little Cutasaurus, Eduardo. Not much else to say. I'm using like this minty color. This is what my daughter chose. She wanted him to be mint, kind of like the book. And then his spikes will be somewhat similar, not exactly the same. So like pinks and yellow. I have pink, yellow, a light blue, I think. I can't remember. But cute, you know, cute. All right, next new start. So this is what I've used the faux fur for. It is a disaster. I'm making it's the teddy bear vest by Winter's Weather Knits. It is a vest. It kind of looks like a little, you know, like a Sherpa vest type thing. And I was like, oh, I really, really like that. I've been wanting a vest like that for a while, so why not make it? And I figured since it was with this faux fur and it's on a 6mm or a US 10 needle, it should go by pretty quickly. That's not the case. But I'll show you what I have. So I have 2 pockets. You start with the pockets. I just have them wrapped up, little 6-inch square pockets. And then the pattern is actually written, it's bottom up, but you actually are supposed to do the back and then the 2 front panels all separately. But she does mention in the pattern that you could knit them all on one needle from 3 different balls. And then that way, you know, the length is the same, and then you're gonna seam it up on the sides when you're done. I decided to be a little bit adventurous, and I decided to just connect all 3 of them together so I wouldn't have to seam. So this is all I have so far. Look, you really can tell the difference between that. So I'll tell you about that in a second. This is what I have. This is front, back, and, well, the 2 fronts and the back. I figured when it comes to doing the armholes, obviously I'll put some of the stitches on hold while I work those panels just like a normal pattern. So I'm hoping that I can figure it out. Considering I haven't done a lot of bottom up patterns because they're not my favorite, but I feel like I understand how it's supposed to work. So we are going to see if I can do that. So this is the right side and the wrong side. So I want to show you here. So this is the bottom. It's not ribbing. She wanted you to do it in garter stitch. And I was like, okay, you're not going to really be able to tell the difference. So I did it in garter, like she said. And then you're supposed to do regular stockinette. So I'm knitting and then purling and then knitting. You can 100% tell the difference, which is crazy. You can definitely see, I wish I could hold this better. There's like stripes, and then this is just like nice smooth fabric. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, this is what garter looks like, and this is what stockinette looks like in the faux fur. I've used faux fur actually a few times. I've made a couple hats for my children using faux fur, and then I've made my daughter like a big fur jacket. The jacket was only in garter stitch, the whole jacket. It went by fairly quickly, so I didn't really think there was going to be much of a difference. But anyways, so yeah, this is all I have so far. I need to do 7 inches before I go ahead and Where are they? Do something with the pockets. So I need to do that soon so I can get these back. I'm gonna need these relatively soon for a different project. So I think maybe I'll put some more length on this today after I'm done filming. Maybe when I'm editing. We'll see. I have several plans I need to get done this week. But yeah, isn't that crazy? All right, so this is all that's left of ball number 2. So yeah, maybe I can get all that done too. So let's put that away. These stay here. This needs to go downstairs. Sorry, I just kind of want to make it all easy for me when I'm done. All right, last new start. Definitely random cast on. I mean, it's not 100% random. It was just, I've had this one on my to make list for a while now. So might as well just go ahead and get it started. So I'm using the yarn. I have this in Stash palette. This is from Knit Picks. I have the Bittersweet Heather colorway. I originally bought this with 2 different greens to make a colorwork sweater. It was a bottom-up sweater. Barely anybody's made it, and a lot of people have had issues with the fit, so I decided to scrap that idea, as sad as it is. It was very lovely. It was like Monstera leaves. It would have been pretty with this being the main color and then deep dark greens for the Monstera leaves. But anyway, so I decided to use this yarn from Stash to make the Elizabeth blouse by Petite Knit. The only issue is this palette yarn is fingering weight. It's a 2-ply 100% Peruvian Highland wool. I have to hold it double to, I'm still not meeting gauge, but I'm 1 stitch less than gauge. So that means my sweater will be a little bit bigger, which is rare for me. Usually I'm knitting way too many stitches per gauge. So I'm decided to make the small size. I'm hoping it all turns out. I have two of these wrapped together so I don't have to have 2 separate balls. I just wound them together, and I actually got the collar finished. Here's the collar, and I did the short rows last night and raglan setup. So I am cruising along. This collar is definitely an interesting technique. It's not double knitting. You cast on with the Judy's Magic Cast On. I actually changed that out and did a Turkish cast on because quicker, easier, I think. So I did a Turkish cast on, and then you use 2 separate needles, like circular needles, and then you just do like you're doing a bottom up, a toe up sock, you know, without any increases. And so I did that, and you have to do it for that long. And then you take your first few and you actually turn those into double knitting. You put them on the waste yarn, and then you knit them all together, like you knit it together so it's one on one needle, one fabric. And then on this side as well is more double knitting. So I did the short rows. I'm absolutely just amazed at Petite Knit. Just her level of knowledge, like the fact that she can go from doing this for the collar to going into these wonderful short rows, just to make a sweater fit amazing. Like, so it'll fold over, the collar will fold over, and then the double knitting bit is going to be a V-neck. It's going to be so lovely. I saw a sweater similar to this actually at Old Navy back in the fall, and that's what made me find this sweater on Ravelry, because I was like, there's got to be a polo-esque type V-neck sweater so that I can make, so I don't have to buy the one in the store. And this is the first one that came up, and it looks exactly the same as the sweater that was at Old Navy. So yeah, I just have this in here So now, you know, so I have one available. So yeah, this was actually a lot of fun to, you know, just construct. At first I was nervous that it was going to be a lot of mental focus, but it was actually really, really lovely to start. What else do I want to say about it? I've noticed that I do prefer the things that cause me to be more mentally engaged. Stockinette is beautiful and lovely, or, you know, just mindless knitting is beautiful and lovely, but it gets boring really, really fast for me. So I do really enjoy. I did forget to bring my brownstone beanie. I did start that. I believe I started that before last video, but I didn't bring it as well. I just had it started so that I could finish the socks, and then as soon as the socks are finished, that could become my new purse knitting. It's just black yarn, fingering weight. I'm making the brownstone beanie by Tori Yu. It is, I got this much done at church yesterday, so not a lot. It doesn't look good either because the yarn was originally in a sock form, like half of a sock. So when I tore that all out, it's obviously ramen noodle yarn. It does not look pretty. So I'm hoping blocking will fix that. So it's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and jump into whips, and then I have a whip turned UF, or a whip that's going to be frogged that I will talk about. So whips. I have the, what is this one called? It's called by Caitlin Hunter. I really wanted to get the collar done before I had to film this video, so I was able to do that. Now the next thing I need to do is get the sleeve split before Friday. I would like to get the sleeve split before Friday. Hopefully I can manage that. So this is what I have. It's all scrunched up on the needle. It really needs a good block, but there's the collar. I hated that big gaping hole that was where your neck is supposed to go. So I went ahead and added that. This is a raglan. It's a cable raglan. It's going to be a very deep raglan, but it's going to be lovely, I think. The yarn that I am using for this, it's hard to see in the camera. It's very dark, so I can't tell unless. The yarn I'm using is Housekeeping Super Soft in the Jasper colorway. I don't know if I told you guys that last time, but this is Jasper. It is this really lovely burgundy. It's got blues and yellow specks in it, and darker, like light and dark burgundy with blue and yellow specks. It's very lovely. So this is what I'm using, and then I'm holding it double with Drops Kids Silk in this colorway. I don't know what number this is. I don't know what, hold on, maybe I have the tag. Number 17. I don't know what that color was called, but it's number 17. So yeah, those two together make this really pretty fabric. I think it'll be really lovely. Definitely a good spring sweater because it is, it's also knit on a US 8 or a, is that 5? Yeah, 5mm needle. This is where I was the last time I showed you, so I do not think it was joined in the round. I can't remember if it was joined in the round or not. Also, I made a little tweak here. So the way that the V-neck met, the collar, the ribbing met, there was going to be a gap. And I looked through a lot of people's project pages and they kept the gap there and it didn't look bad at all. Mine was okay, but then it started to like open like this a lot. So what I did with the tail is actually just mattress stitched it closed so there wouldn't be a gap. So it kind of looks a little messy, but at least the gap's not there. So I just took the, yeah, mattress stitched it closed with the tail end. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about this. I'm going to go ahead and move my stitch, my progress keeper, and move that up. Again, the plan is just to get the sleeve split hopefully done before before Friday, so by the end of Thursday. And so that's why I need those stitch keepers, the cords. I want those back so I can use them for this. So I definitely got my hands busy with plans. So that's one whip. Whip number 2, this one. This guy is not much further. This is the Clearview cardigan. This one did not get much further. I have not touched it very much. It has been through a bit. All right, good morning. I'm about to block what I have here because I'm a bit nervous. So I did the collar, finished that up last night. I think I did either an inch or a ½ inch less than called for. I didn't really need it that big. It's also cute folded down, but my biggest concern, and I have mentioned this before, is the back is lower than the front. I did the measurement that said to do it was strange. Typically when I do drop shoulders, it wants you to measure, do a certain distance from there on this outside edge, but it wanted me to do it from the shoulder down the neck. And so I did that, but it's a lot shorter than the back. If I wanted to make it equal, it would be like sitting way up high on my neck. I don't know how well you could see that, but this is just what's going on. So pre-blocking, I'm going to block it, see how it feels. I know it's not going to change this too much, but I'm just so nervous considering how much work this is. Okay, it's blocked. It's like 99% dry, but I wanted to go ahead and show you. So I didn't. Let's see here. Sorry. I don't think much of it changed, to be honest. So if I put my arms in kind of like a hanger, I don't feel like it changed too much. If I want to keep it, like that, the front, this part of the back neck, I feel like is too high, or else the front panels are just not knit long enough. And yes, that could be well, I could fix that myself. I did it to the pattern specifications. It says from the shoulder, which I'm assuming is this, because this is where you pick up, even though that technically goes over the shoulder. It said from the shoulder do 9 and some odd inches along the neck edge. This is the neck edge. I did not go like this when I measured it, because you actually go like that when you knit it. I just went straight down this and did 9 and whatever it was. I can't remember. I mean, sure, I think it'll work, but I'm worried that there's gonna be this, because there's no pictures of the cardigan unbuttoned at all. So there's a button band that will go up actually all the way to the top of the collar. See, and all those pictures it's completely buttoned all the way to the top. So I don't know if there's going to be this weird thing here because the front is shorter than the back, which brings this underarm around instead of being actually under the arm. I don't know. Maybe adding the body will help. I do like this though. They didn't show this at all either, but how cute is that folded? Now granted, again, there's going to be a button band that goes all the way to the top, but how cute, like so. That'll be cute with the folded collar too. Yes, no, I don't. I'm just scared of how much work is going into this and the fit being a little odd. Like it's not, there's plenty of room under my arm. This drops down quite far, which is really nice. I'm hoping for the best. I really, really am. So here's the blocked updated bit. I don't think I'm going to do any other differences. I'm going to do maybe a little bit more body before I go ahead and start a sleeve. But I think I probably need more of the body for the weight of it to see how that goes. I'm probably going to work on the body. That's probably the plan. So we'll see. It's so lightweight considering this is a sport weight yarn. It's Pearl Soho's Good Wool. It's a Peruvian wool, or a Highland, 100% Highland wool. Sport weight. It's really lightweight. It's super nice. This color is fantastic. It's wild mustard. All right. I think that's all I wanted to show you. I'm going to do the body. Last active whip is my, what is this called? The Night Shift? It's the Night Shift. It's a shawl by Andrea Mowry. I'm knitting this up in 2 balls of Noro Ito. We have Noro Ito, and this is color number 30, and the other one, well, this is color number 30. And this one's color number 8, I believe. The tag fell out. 8, yes. They have names that are on Ravelry. I don't remember what they are. This is how small my balls are getting. They were massive when I started. And this is how far I'm at. So each week I was doing one section. I had planned to do one section a week. I'm making this for the Drea Renee Knits March to May knit along. I should have this way done before the end of May, not a problem. I'm in halfway through section 7. Yes, so I was on track. I got to section 5, switched. So here's where I was last time. I was on section 3 or 4. I think I was on section 4. And then decided to switch my colors, like rotate them for 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, after 5. I think it was after 5. I went ahead and switched them, so I was on section 5 last time I showed you. Section 5 I got done in one evening because it was just half of a section. So I got that finished, switched the colors, and since it was only half of an evening, I was like, okay, I can move my goal up by 1 week. I can do section 6 and then section 7, you know, just 1 week sooner, since I'm only halfway through 7, and I made this past week to finish 7, so I did not. That's just because I've been working on everything else as well. But I need to get back on this. I will be taking a break. I won't be taking this with me when I travel. I don't think I want to. But it'll be done probably in April sometime. Mid-April if I'm lucky. End of April if I'm not lucky. Either way, it'll be done. I can't wait to block it. Get it to stop curling and all that other jazz. Yeah, so it's just a slip stitch detail. It's a very simple pattern. Obviously it's just getting longer to do each row because it's getting wider. What else can I say about it? It's 100% wool, and it's a thick, it's like a worsted weight single ply. It's definitely going to be warm and cozy for the winter time. Oh, I'm also one of those people who do not mind knitting heavy winter garments in the middle of the summer. I don't mind, so I will be doing some summer knitting, of course, and that brings me to this last one. We're at about an hour almost. This one was an old, like my oldest active whip, I guess you could say. I started this back in June of 2023, and I made a sad discovery the other day. So I pulled this out of the basket and decided to just finish up the color work that was on here. This is the Miserina by Caitlin Hunter. So I was like in this section, so I just had this last 2 leaves to do for color work. And so I was like, okay, well, let's just, you know, let's get that done. I know I'm not enjoying the color work on this, but let's just get it done. And then once you split for the sleeves, it'll be just super easy knitting and you can get it done and have a beautiful t-shirt for the summer. Well, I had forgotten that my gauge was off. Like it wasn't until I actually did split for the sleeves, and I blocked this and I realized that it was too small. So dilemma with the gauge for this pattern with a fingering weight on a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle, Caitlin was getting 20 stitches per 4 inches. I, with fingering weight on a US 4, was getting 25 stitches per 4 inches. Huge discrepancy. So I decided to go up 2 sizes. I believe it was 2 sizes. I was knitting size 5, 4 or 5. I cannot remember actually. Either way, I believe I went up 2 sizes, you know, to help accommodate. Wasn't enough. When I split for the sleeve, it was like a hug, like strangling my armpit. It was in there. And I'm like, yep, that's not gonna work for me. So I just decided that ripping it out is what's going to happen. It is sad because it would have been really, really lovely. And this is so soft. So the yarn I'm using is Housekeeping Coast. This is their 50% wool, well, 55% wool, 45% cotton. It is so incredibly soft and squishy and just really lovely. It would have been nice, but I'm not going to. If I've started this in June and have not finished it by now, I wasn't enjoying the knit. Why continue knitting even if I could have given this to my daughter? I wasn't enjoying it anyways, so I didn't want to have to think about it anymore, so I'm just going to rip it out. I just didn't want to do it yet because A, I want to show you, and B, it's not necessary. I don't need the yarn for anything right now, so I'm not going to rip it out right now. But yeah, I did check other people's pattern pages as well, and a lot of people struggled with the gauge. I don't understand how she could use it was a single ply fingering weight, 390 yards per 100 grams, I believe. So a plumper fingering weight, but I don't know. The gauge wasn't there. A lot of people struggled with that. I'm sad that that one is not working out for me, and that's okay. Moved on. That's kind of why I started the Elizabeth blouse as well. So, all right, I think that is it. So the plans are for April. Just work on what I have. I did tell you a little bit, like I want to get the pockets put on for the vest. I want to split for the sleeves for the Iskald. That was also a Caitlin Hunter pattern, if you're unaware. That one, gauge is way better for that one for me. That one's working. And also, so those are the like near future goals. Then obviously finishing the night shift shawl. Get that done in this month. That's really it, I guess. No other really big plans. Ruminate more about my daughter's suggestion on working each cubby for my thing and then getting that yarn out that way. I have a really hard time. So I bought all that new yarn, right? I had yarn in stash for other plans that I'm really excited to make, but every time I see something new and shiny over here, I want to make that pattern. And then those other ones that I was really excited about get pushed back, and I need to stop doing that. That's the problem I'm having. I'm having that problem. So I need to I think what I need to do is stick with my list that I had so far. Yes, I've added a few more to it. But I need to go through this list and knock off more of these. I've already knocked off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6. But I need to keep going, get more of these knocked off before I go ahead and add more to it and get excited to knit those things. Yeah. So that is it. That's all I have to talk about today. I do hope that you have a, if you celebrated Easter, I suppose, I hope you had a nice Easter. If you didn't, I hope you had a nice Sunday. Other than that, I do hope that you have a wonderful next couple of weeks, and I'll check back in at the middle of April. Yes, I'll check back in at the middle of April. Bye.